Well, how's it going, Kingsman? Welcome back to the battlefield. Look at all these banners. Look at all the cavalry. This is a 4v4. This is posted in a clan. Well, I don't know if they even know I'm part of this Discord. There's a clan that posts. I think it's clan v clan battles. They'll play. So a lot of experienced players. Every once in a while, I'll browse, peruse. Oh, we have a cav charge already. Yep, some Kazakis charging some chasseurs cheval, but as I was saying, this Lancer's not going to do too well. I saw this battle posted, I saw the results, and I was like, holy smokes, that is a lot of kills on both sides. Yeah, man, the Russians are really giving the French what for. I mean, this battle just started, guys. It's not been going very long, and already there's a lot of cav clashing everywhere, Lancers everywhere. In fact, I may have to even slow motion this. I'm going to slow motion just for a second because I actually didn't expect it to go this fast. So, this is a Russia Corps taking on the French. Now, the French are not in the Corps, but the Russians are. One of the Russians is Platov. Now, he is a 10-pointer. He is guerrilla deployment, guys. He has, as you can see, he has a ton of Kazakis. It is a very fun core to play if you like playing cav, because you have guerrilla deployment, so you can deploy all around. Granted, all you have is cavalry, man. Yeah. But yeah, they are going to be stalling the French while a 7-point Bagavou and 11-point Duktorov and a 8-point Tormasov push up here. Now, the French, I'm going to go over those points real fast, and we'll get back to this action, because, man, there's artillery already firing at the French dragoons. And we have, actually, I'll go over the French. Once this stops heating up, I'll go over the French, or I will as we're going, because it does look like the Kazakis got broken by some cross-the-air. And I think finally, we have even more engagements here, more cavalry charging in, and if this may be Kazakis, guys, Lancers, C7, C9, I should say, but it has a crazy attack for Lancers. Now, the French are bringing a 8-point Espagne, a 9-point France Flanders, a 10-point France Espagne, and a 9-point France Flanders. So that is all the French have. And already, I think they're kind of reeling from that first vicious attack that the Russians threw at them. You do have Platov's 2-pounder, horse artillery doing work on the French already. Man, they are throwing down the gauntlet already. They're like, you want to fight? Well, come at us. This is actually a really beautiful shot here. Artillery, you have the French infantry pushing across the hill, cavalry all over the place. This looks amazing. And yeah, this is just gorgeous. Now, there's a lot of French troops pushing. I don't even know where they're actually firing. But we have more cavalry maybe clashing once again. Dragoons against Kazakis. One thing I think I've noticed... Oh, this artillery piece. Never mind. One thing I've noticed is the French don't have a lot of light cav. They have a lot of dragoons, and they have a lot of crossier. And that is it. And we do have more French pushing up. They have this hill, which they're pushing across. Like I said, guys, Platov seems to be just kind of delaying them. Not sure if they're wanting the Russians to get up, but, man, we have another charge? Where are these guys charging? Oh, we got some squares formed. France was pushing up here, and these Kazakis getting shot at. And take some... This is light infantry, too. And they can form some squares as more and more of them are going to start pushing up. They're going to try going for that artillery piece. However, that artillery piece is long gone. Long gone. Now, they are doing something pretty sneaky here. If you sit right on the corner of a square, actually, this square will be able to shoot, but the rest of the French are shooting. So... But they did, I think, catch these infantry in friendly fire. They actually, yes, look at this. They're shooting their own men. Goading the enemy into shooting through their own infantry just to kill a Kazaki, I'm not sure if that was their intention, but it seemed to work well. Oh, we do have some Russian infantry now. Some light infantry on the field already. So Russia being just very aggressive. In fact, they just broke a dragoon unit. Wow. So France is paying for every little advance they make here in blood. Now, I'm missing all these cav engagements. Russia keeps going in on the French. You can see breaking more and more dragoons. France definitely paying for every little cav engagement. They have taken quite a lot of losses. And knowing France's need for cavalry to support their infantry, especially if this is España, which it looks like it is, they have really small units. Which is why I think it may be an España here. Maybe not. Maybe it isn't. These don't actually look like España. But very small units. Russia, we do have Bagavu setting up his light infantry, line infantry. They didn't bring a lot of cavalry, but he does have some Gussaris over here. More. Oh my gosh. Is that another cav engagement over here? I'm just trying to keep an eye on the mini-map here. And Dragoons finally beat more Kazakis. But look at this 5-gun horse artillery. This is 4-gun, sorry. 4-gun horse artillery. Still, not an ideal place for France to be. These guys cannot form squares, so they're trying to be very defensive here. Over on this side, France seems to now be pushing over. Uh-oh. Russia is repelling the French, firing a volley point blank. I don't think France is going to make it. They're not even forming square. Wow. They just broke. Now they need to fall back, get some squares obviously formed up. Oh, we do have more cavalry charging in. Oh, we're going for some poor. Oh, not the Swiss. I love the Swiss. Don't kill. Oh, Swiss Grenadiers. Heck yeah. This is what I'm talking about, people. Now, this Kazaki's not going to really win. They are hitting a ton of troops. Not going to win that fight. But I love that they brought Swiss. That is what I want to see. More and more French charging in, and these guys are just dying to the fast reloading and firing of these light infantry who have not lost a man. I don't know what is happening here by the French. I wish I knew. They're doing some weird tactics here. And now the other French army is pushing over. I think they've realized this was a ruse by Platov. The bulk of the Russian army, however, guys, is still pushing down this road. And then the reinforcement army, oh man, they have so far to actually go. The Russians are going to have to hold for a very long time before they actually get any sort of reinforcements. Now, they can fight a retreating battle. They have plenty of Kazakis that can move quickly around and defend. Obviously, they are going to fight a probably retreating battle here against the French. And there's plenty of French pushing up here on the flank. Not something you want to see if you're trying to hold here. Nice open field. A lot of little dips and hills, though, you know. I'm not sure what the French's plan is. But this French player keeps charging units from super far away. It's almost like they dropped. Now, they didn't drop. You know, but they're acting like they did. I mean, don't charge from far away. You're giving them a huge alert that your men are charging. Now, we do have some cavalry. I guarantee you these guys are going to try to go for the artillery, but they're probably going to try to defending it. Another clash here with the cavalry as French infantry do advance. More dragoons throwing themselves in. Here come fresh Kazakis. And they're going to probably break this dragoon unit. Now, there is some French infantry firing here, so France, they got to be careful. They're getting a lot of friendly firing here. Now, another cav clash, but there is French or Russian infantry? No, French infantry. Wow. Oh, that's unfortunate. The Gusari lost big that time, but they're going to charge him with even more cavalry. France is not being well put together right now, guys. They have a huge advantage, in my opinion, when it comes to, like, numbers. They have a lot of troops here, but they aren't using it properly whatsoever. They are sitting way too long. They need to utilize the fact that the Russians have such massively deep deployment zones, like way over here. If they were paying attention before the battle started and they look at the mini-map, which I always recommend you do, look at the map of deployment zones before you start, you would have seen that French all start here, and there's 1 or 2 Russians up here and 1 or 2 back here. The only reason that there is more Russians up here is because the guerrilla deployment for this 10-point Platov, they're able to put their troops up here, so Russia only has to reinforce with 1, because usually there'd be 2 reinforcing from way back here. But France needs to utilize that. They need a huge advantage This is it. This is the advantage they have. They have all their troops, and Russia is literally right in front of them. Oh, we have another cav charge, though. Oh, is this going to go well? This may not go very well. Oh, no, no, no. That's going to go badly. Saddles will be emptied rapidly. Oh, my gosh. That was actually quite bad. However, you do see that Duktorov is pushing towards this LOC on the 2-pointer. I am not sure. We actually have more cavalry even charging over here. Man, Platov is trying to buy time, and actually, not only that, but look at more Kazakis running up. This is a Portuguese map. Portugal 1, I think, map, by the way. So it's not even like it's a Russian map. Oh my goodness, the Kazakis going straight in on this Russian army. They're trying to slow them down, and I guarantee you it's working now. We do have more cav pushing up. Oh man, these Kazakis have broken a lot. I'd pull them out now. They're going to break. It's got to be frustrating, though, to be France right now. You're just constantly getting hit by cavalry, and it's not like it's even that bad of cav. But, I mean, Platov is slowly but surely losing men. Now, he does have, for now, although France seems to be relocating, he did have a bit of a flank. France, if you look at the overview here, guys, France is walking straight into, like, a flank here. Duktorov has troops. He's pushing back. I think he realizes he's not going to make it there. But they're pushing. France is pushing directly in here, and Bagavu has a chance to hit a flank here. This French army is hesitating to advance against this to protect their left flank of their ally, and France actually may be looking to run themselves into a flank. Now, they do have the Swiss Grenadiers here, so no fear on that end. You know, they have some good troops, but why waste good troops? Now, I will say it's rare that you get to see the whole enemy army and know where they're pushing, but with so many light cav, oh my gosh, even more. Cuirassiers charging in. I would not take this unless I can get a flank on them. This is not going to go too well. I mean, these guys are not going to excel at fighting in a melee with the Cuirassiers. And they broke. But they are exhausting that heavy cav, so I guess that is something. Here we go, though. France, thankfully, this French army is still pushing here. So, I mean, good to see. Good to know they aren't just staying stagnant. I think this French army is being a little bit too passive. They're just kind of sitting here. They need to push up with their ally. I mean, their ally over here is... There's at least 2 armies, guys, here advancing. This is probably the 3rd, and here's the 4th. So they have 3 in one area, 1 in reserve, 2 pushing up front, and 1 on the left side. You know, like, Russia, however, is doing something interesting. They are pushing back this way. Maybe they're going to force France to actually attack them, but if France it'd be smart here. All they got to do is swing this whole flank in on Russia, and boom, they got them. Now Russia is wisely, almost immediately falling back. Like, almost immediately, and France is pushing here. We do have Tormasala pushing up, so Russia is not really engaging too much. They're fighting a retreating battle, which very, very smart considering the circumstances. Waiting until they have reinforcements. Let the French tire themselves out, pushing and attacking. Let Platov just exhaust them, exhaust their cav, and then you strike with fresh armies from Russia. Plus, France is going to be advancing probably slower than normal just because they're worried about getting charged by lancers in the back. And the weak link, this is what I'm thinking looking at this. The weak link may be this right side or this left side. Maybe the left side, but the reinforcements are further away. These guys are going right for the road. You have artillery that can set up here. And not only that, but a road to quickly be able to melee these small units are going to be a juicy target for artillery and infantry to shoot them. I would get my light infantry from Russia and focus down this side. Now, we don't know what kind of reinforcing army is pushing. We do have artillery as well. We'll see. We'll see how this plays out, guys. I'm excited. And the true battle hasn't even begun. It's just been a lot of skirmishes. Uh-oh. Do they have a swear? Oh, they do. Okay. Well, that's going to fail utterly in their face. They did form the square. And see, this 7-pointer has spread out his troops, so France tries engaging. If France is not smart about the way they engage, I've done this before. I've only had a section of my line. What newer players do, they'll stretch the whole line to engage them, and only half their line will actually be shooting. Half of it will be just standing there. And that's how you fight against, you know, greater numbers that are attacking you. And then you push this up on the flank, and if France doesn't know how to, like, break up their line into sections to, like, attack the enemy in sections, if that makes sense, then the Russians may actually win a line fight. Now, this LLC is being attacked, and those skirmishers did die. So, you know, there's that. More artillery, though, set up here. This looks to be the Russians' defensive line. We do have the French setting up their artillery. They look to not be too excited about attacking, interestingly enough. Even though I would be trying to put as much pressure on Russia as possible, just because there's an army that still has not come up yet. You gotta utilize the superior... Ooh, we have a cav charge here. And a square is formed. Artillery set way up. You can see Russia is just wasting France's time. They aren't even engaging, but they're forcing the French to, like, stop, set up, push, stop, set up, push. And they have, like, a nice little flank here if they needed it. And the 4-gun artillery. This is gonna... Let's see what kind of angle they got right now. Oh, my goodness. Look at that beautiful view. And the French are... Oh, nice shot on the Dragoons. But you know they're going to push. But he does have Kazakis. I guarantee these guys are not going to make it to this artillery piece. He has probably troops that are going to start shooting. And the charge. These are going to stop him in place. The artillery maybe will fire and the infantry will shoot. But you can see they're already wavering. The Lancers may give them enough shock. And they have shock resist. With a volley, nicely done. Now we do have Russia making their defense here. There is a cav engagement here on the flank. Those Kazakis making a nice defense. In Russia, Duktorov has his troops. He has plenty of reserves. This is obviously where the first bit of fighting is going to probably happen. This feels like, I don't know, you can almost imagine that this is like the beginning of the Russian campaign where Napoleon's pushing into Russia. And Russia's trying to defend against such a grand army. And you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going to be taking some screenshots of this. This battle is too gorgeous not to. But yeah, France is pushing up. They have one strung out long line. It's all shooting, though. They have skirmishers here in the center. Can try to push out. Now this artillery piece may be in danger. We do have plenty of French pushing up here in reserve. Ooh, artillery, those getting juicy hits. Look at the Russians here. Just set up, waiting. They have a nice angle here. They're fighting. France should be pushing everything into this line right here. They can outshoot the French. But look how massively long this line is now. Got some Polish involved. I'm pretty sure, I may not know too much about history, but I'm pretty sure the Polish and Russians have had clashings in the past. We have a bunch of Swiss right here. You know how I love the Swiss. But they are pushing forward here. You start engaging more and more of the Russian line. Bagavu has his artillery that is going to probably wreak havoc on the French advance. Still, it's pushing up, nonetheless. Where are they going to fire? Oh, they're going for cavalry. And boy, do they hitting it. They are hitting it for sure. Ooh, yes. Oh, look at the French. And now it looks like they may be pushing forward here. Now let's check on this side. It does look like, yep, we do have pushing forward here. Just in time, Tormasov is pushing up his reinforcements. He's spreading them out, so the Allies obviously working well together. The coalition is working well together. We do have a push, though, potentially. We have Dragoons and French infantry pushing along this flank. Oh, actually, we have a bayonet charge by the Swiss Grenadiers. I hope it is actually the Swiss Grenadiers. I'm not like mislabeling them and they're like Italians or something. Watch. But France seems to be coordinating quite well at the moment. They are pushing forward quite aggressively here. And I think Russia may be in a bit of trouble. As, yep, here we go. The Russians are getting attacked. France coming straight at them. They may get one volley off, but France may just bayonet charge them. Over here, this doesn't seem to be going, you know, these... What are these dragoons doing? I think the French keep forgetting about some of their infantry here. This army seems to be totally forgetting. What is happening? France! Is this an AI drop? I am very confused right now, this center push. Now everywhere else seems to be doing beautifully. France seems to be, you know, actually winning this engagement here. We see Bagaboo's actually going to pull out that ambush because, yep, France is just ranging themselves. This is what I was talking about, you know, some of the troops aren't even firing. And now he's going to push that flank and they're going to have to react. At least he's pulling some of his army off. But this kind of looks like a drop. I'm wondering how that is, unless the battle results... I don't know. Because the battle results show that the French got a lot of kills. Unless I was a idiot and looked at the losses instead, which is very possible. A dyslexic me. Oh, you know what? I'm looking at them right now. Yep. Still a very close battle. No, just kidding. It is actually still looks pretty good on both sides for the enemies killed. But the España did drop. But, you know, who needs it? You have plenty of other French reinforcements pushing up here. And it looks like the French army is still utilizing a blob of AI pushing forward here. Still an even battle, even with the drop from France. Now, we do have the army pushing up. Unfortunately, they don't have any squares, so I hope he can react in time, but this may be it. He may have actually lost some infantry here. He did get somewhat of a volley off. Still not the great. I mean, actually, he took that pretty well. So the AI is now gone, so now the real players can push up and start attacking here. France still waging a nice battle here.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
I'm not even volleying each other yet. The line is holding down here. Artillery trying to hold the center. France did push the Russians back a decent amount, and they did lose some infantry, but they just fell back just a tiny bit. Oh, look at them. You can see the French through the tree line, and then you can see the other Russian line holding strong here. Now, France did manage to push the Russians back just a little bit. Scared them. Obviously, they need some cav support now. Both sides did not really break. Artillery now trying to soften up this French line that is pushing forward. Oh, some infantry actually are bayonet charging in here. However, some elite Carabinieri style heavy cavalry charged in and broke that Russian attack. And now the center is looking a little empty here. I'm not sure what France is doing here with their columns. They are pushing forward. Cavalry Cuirassiers look like they did charge in against the Russian line. You see Russia actually is falling back. They are pushing up. They do have some heavy cav now making their way to the front lines. Tormasov's heavy cav finally making it there, as well as reinforcements that are desperately needed to ensure this line holds. But now they have heavy cav to counter the French heavy cav, which is a good thing. France is still pushing. They have made quite a few gains, still pouring in volleys. inch by inch, foot by foot, they are pushing. Now Russia does have an LOC that is going to help them hold this corner where they were getting pushed back, and they've definitely had some losses along this line. Over on this side, my prediction is France is going to lose this fight. They have artillery blasting them in the face, and they are not advancing as they should. They have cav, which quite honestly, this cavalry I think should be pushing over to that side. They obviously know the Russians can't form square here, so I'd push my cav up with infantry and go for a nice bayonet charge with cav coordinated. I mean, Russia, it does know their weakness, so they are pushing a squareable over here. But still, I would push cav over here and try pushing the flank. Their center is looking super worse for wear. As I said, I was worried that this French army was just going to do one strung out line and it wasn't going to look too good. We do have some cavalry engaging here. Kazaki's engaging some dragoons. Russia has not had a lot of trouble, though, with the cav of France thus far. This battle seems to have calmed down. Now it's just a lot of shooting. Now Russia may not be exactly the greatest at shooting, but as of right now, they seem to be winning just because of the artillery advantage they have. You know, they have these 6-pounders, which look to be setting up on this side. I think they're hoping because of how passive the French are being on this side, they may actually win. Uh-oh. How could this have happened? Oh, man. Oh, the Kazakis broke. Oh, well. I'm sure... Oh, no. Well, France went for those pesky guns. Maybe they will save the gun crew, but I don't think so. It's dragoons charging them. However, they still have more guns, so if they could save those guns, they'll be fine. He's getting a nice volley off on the corner of them. He's going to meet them and break them. And now, they won't win as fast maybe with the artillery crew gone, but they still have artillery. And now France seems to be pushing up. Maybe with artillery gone, they will actually attack. You know, maybe. Still a raging fight here. And over here, it does look like, ooh, Tormasov actually pushed 2 lines, a contingent of infantry onto the flank here against France. And, yeah, France actually fallen back as Russia has held their ground. Looks like France was pushing up, and we have some Gussaris who are starting to break a bit of the French line. Oh, are those... Oh, it's a guard unit. You see France actually falling back. He is pushing up more troops along here, so going to engage with Bagavoo. Still kind of silly that I looked at the losses on each side instead of the kills, enemies killed on each side. That is a huge, that's a huge problem for me. Man, I don't know how I did that. But still, this has actually been pretty cool, considering there was a French drop. Both sides are playing quite well here. We even have a cav charge going in, the Cuirassiers. Oh, no. Oh, that was a nice artillery shot, and this French cav is definitely not going to make it. They're getting shot from multiple angles. Yeah, not going to do too well for them. This fight still does seem to be, you know, going one way or the other. We do have these Cuirassiers who could charge again against Duke Torov. If that does happen, it does look like it may be happening. Oh, we have general movement. I would push up the infantry if you're going to send in your cavalry, because look, they're going to immediately fire on these Cuirassiers. Now, the Russians do have their heavy cav in the fight. They are punching through this center, and they may actually charge against the French flank. France may have not had any cavalry now to really defend this. However, they are having some problems of their own. Now, this is where France should push up the infantry. Russia is turned their lines to shoot at these Cuirassiers. Push up your infantry, get a flank, get a bayonet charge, get something on them. because France is going to ruin any chance they have to use their crossieres. France is still kind of bunching up a bit. This artillery still being able to help control this side of the battlefield. Russia's just spread out along an entire line, and France seems to be just totally flummoxed as to where to attack. Maybe they're forming up in reserves and they're going to go straight through here, but you know, they're getting shot at by artillery, and they have a strong army. They need to, you know, help out their allies who are, oh my goodness, another allied general has been killed. Another one. Tormasov's general this time. Now you can see we do have some infantry and cavalry trying to hold back the French who are inching forward bit by bit now. We do have Dutorov trying to flank the French who are, you know, pushing here. France is just putting up more and more reinforcements here. They're trying to outshoot Dutorov. And it doesn't seem to be working too well for them. We do have infantry pushing on the flank, though. I mean, now Tormasov's going to push up lines of his own just to support the gaps being formed by France. Like, both sides, guys, could easily break one after the other. I just don't know what's going to happen first. I'd push these up in reserve and push up here and try to go for a flank against Russia. Now, it may die, but at this point, you're dying anyway, you know? Like, the Russians are kind of spread out. If they had Cav, France had Cav, I'd send it. I would have saved it and sent it in with infantry. So we do have some heavy cav still that is around. So France still has quite a bit of dangerous infantry and such left. Man, the chaos and the death just scattered throughout this field. So much death and destruction, guys. So much. This has been a very gory battle. It's like Borodino when it comes to like the death suffered by both sides. Oh, we have a general sniping attempted, but I don't think that France is gonna make it. Their dragoons are chasing down. He's sending some brave skirmishers in to save his general. And I don't think, France may still get the general. He's chasing it, but Kasari's rushing to chase the general. We'll see. We'll see if Dutorov gets their general away in time. Yeah, they got it. Oh, man. See, they keep sending their cav against the artillery when they should be trying to get the infantry. Obviously, it takes some skill to charge your cav into enemy infantry, especially Russians. And the Russians have done very well at, like, predicting they're getting charged and giving fire orders to be able to blast the French cav right in the face. This little grove area by the... Man, this has been a bloody fight. And actually, Russia is falling back. France is starting to maybe feel the wind here. Now they have 4 units sitting right back here. Maybe it's because Tormasov has 2 right here, but 2 on 4, really, they're wasting a lot of their time. But I think Russia's going to take this just because France is pretty worn out. You can see they don't have a whole lot of reserves. They have some troops they're resting over here, but so far, I mean, they are getting just totally obliterated by the Russians. There are plenty of Russian reinforcements here. Still looks beautiful, though. Still putting up the fight. Oh, artillery up on the hill, too. Anything happening over here? Okay, so Russia is falling back to yet another defensive line here. Probably another grove where they have tree lines to help defend them. The center actually starting to collapse. But it's given them what for? France seems to be so scared. Minus one of the French armies. All of France seems scared to bayonet charge the enemy. It's kind of a strange thing. Oh, we got some skirmishers. Like I said, the artillery up here is helping them out. They can limber it up. We have a reinforcing some Polish and French, Swiss pushing up here on the flank. This army is just constantly pushing on the Russians. But you can see they are losing. However, they are doing something slightly... Like, they're doing something a little smart here. Because this artillery, there's a slight hill blocking them from being able to shoot. If France can maybe shift over here to where the artillery can't get them, you know, that'll help even the odds just a little bit here. I'm trying to figure out where the French plan on attacking. Like, trying to think here, where would they want to attack? They are pushing Tormasov's 2 line infantry back. They have some cuirassiers, looks like, with about 4 line infantry, all pushing. So maybe trying to go for a flank at the same time that they're pushing along this ridge. They're finally stepping over the dead and wounded Russians. But definitely not even if they do win, guys, it's going to be a Pyrrhic victory. And Russia is not done with it. Oh, look at this. They're advancing out of the tree line and pouring in volleys against the French. You can see the banner. And they're pouring some volleys here. We had some guys trying to charge the artillery piece. Oh, it's turned. You're dead. This is like Borodino. The poor French infantry are gonna get just pounded. Oh, well, they're killing their own infantry too. But yeah, they killed him. He totally fell back. You know, staying near the guns so the guns can still help him out. Unfortunately, this line infantry did die to the canister as well. It's a typical Russian thing to do, you know. You kill an enemy with the friendlies. You know, a worthwhile sacrifice. It does look like cavalry did try charging this line infantry, but they were able to form a square because there's 2 squares on this side. So France may have wasted their time, you know, pushing this side with their cav. Back to the good old grind. Oh, is that a Russian cav unit? Oh no, France! They lost their artillery. A lightning fast Gazari charge. See, patience is a virtue. This is a grenadier or a guard unit, something like that. Man, why aren't they in the front trying to fight? Here we go. The guns are once again trained on the Russians. Oh, actually, the hill they probably should reset those guns up. I would actually limber up the guns and put them like over here, and then have my line just stand here for now. But yeah, Russia has really wasted the French's time. Now they have 3 here, 3 here. But look how many units are here. It's a 1, 2, it's a 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 versus 6, guys. Now they're starting to kill them. But still, they've taken a lot of time. This has got to be at least an 8-pointer. This is a 7-pointer. And I don't think this is the Spania. I think this is a 9 or a 10. No, I don't think it's a 10. I think it's a 9. This is a 9-pointer, guys. A 7-pointer is wasted a 9-pointer's time. That's success that you can't measure. And now with the artillery gone, France is not probably feeling as confident about attacking here. And you can see already they are, even over here, this artillery starting to waste them. They're dying so fast. He keeps readjusting his lines. He just needs to stand fast and fight at this point. You know, go big or go home. But, yep, they're going to start wavering, and they can start breaking. Hopefully the general inspires men. He needs to rally right now. We have some infantry pushing forward, though. Is Russia going to go for a bayonet charge? No, they're just going to shoot him to death. Holy cow. They haven't even started firing yet. Alright, Tormasov's line of infantry, which seem to have barely seen any action, are now pushing forward here. Some fresh reinforcements. This has actually paid off. Now, of course, we can say a what if, because obviously a French player dropped. The 10-pointer dropped. Which was a lot of troops, obviously, so, you know, you can be like, well, what would have happened? I wonder if France hadn't had their 10-point drop. Maybe the Russians would have gotten just rolled, or it had been maybe a more intensely close fight. You never know.
Our men are running.
Oh, wow, France managed to countercharge and break the Russians. However, they still did break as well. But I think it just would have been a lot closer of a game than it is at this moment. Because obviously Russia is still struggling to win here. You see, man, Tormasov's troops just got shredded up. Man, look at all the dead. Still. And they have still not ended this fight. Oh, I see a lot of Swiss on the ground. That's sad. Oh, that guy looks like he's missing his legs.
Our men are running, sir.
Is he missing his legs? Hold on. Where'd he go? Oh, he just was laid to the side. I'm sorry, sir. The Swiss Alps. No. Wait. I'm trying to remember my geography now. Are the Alps in Switzerland? No, I don't think they are. I think they're in... Gosh. I have to go look this up. It's internet time after I'm done recording. The Alps. I thought those were like in Italy. Like the top of Italy. Because Hannibal came over the Alps into Italy, right? I think so. You know, I love history, but for loving history, I'm pretty lazy when it comes to, like, trying to, like, study stuff. However, I will go and study this. Maybe the Alps are, like, in between Switzerland and Italy. Or something like that. Oh, we have a cav charge. Finally, the heavies. Oh, no, they're just counter-charging here because France set in the poor Swiss. These guys have been brutalized. Man, look at the death. It's crazy. So much death, so much hate. Get Theoden over here.
Our men are running.
Wow,
sir.
Tormasov is just, he's not doing too hot. Like, I've seen his units just every time just getting, like, a volley and then redlining immediately. So, man, Russia is still having some problems here. Keep in mind, Platov is gone, so they did bring a Lancer, basically a Cav Corps that's only Lancers, and it did do something to delay the French from pushing, but I don't think it would have been enough if all the French players had been there. So actually, for our viewing pleasure, and so that is decently close, we had a player drop. You know, that not like we rigged it so they would drop. We do have Russia pushing back the French. It looked like they did go close in for some more bayonet charges with that one line, but obviously Dutorov sent over reinforcements because Bagaboo did lose some of his troops. I think they will crush this side here, and then it'll just be up to this, which honestly this could still go either way. France seems to be redlining quite a bit, especially with some infantry now pushing on the flank. I think France is a hairbreadth away from collapsing and going back, and you know what? Maybe more lives would be saved. This was an actual Russian campaign, and Russia was able to stop the French early on, and Napoleon was like, oh my goodness, I'm losing so many men. I'm falling back. Who knows what would have changed if he hadn't actually fully invaded. The real question is, here's a question that you can put in the comments. If you had a time machine, and you could go back and Napoleon would believe you, and you told him, hey, if you invade Russia, you're going to actually lose hundreds of thousands of men, and he did, do you think it would have changed the course of the Napoleonic wars afterwards? Like, obviously he lost a lot of men to Russia, but would you have, first of all, would you have gone back and told Napoleon he should not have invaded? And if you did, would it have changed the course of all the battles of the future? Would Napoleon have, you know, managed to survive? So yeah, there's a question for you. Put it in the comments. I will tell you what I think while we're watching the French try flanking the Russians. Actually go for bayonet charge. I think I would have told Napoleon. I probably would have. You know? And I think actually... Ooh, actually starting to break them. Nice counter charge. But, oh, okay, Russia's broken them. But I do not always root for Napoleon. I do root for the underdog, usually, of any war. Obviously, there's a couple where I'm like, that one nation was obviously wrong, you know. Like, I rooted for Rome sometimes when they were first beginning, but then I start rooting for other people. Like, I rooted for Carthage, like Hannibal and all that, because he was the underdog. He was fighting Rome, and he was vastly outnumbered and all that. When it comes to France, he kept beating the coalition every year. You know, don't get me wrong, I have huge respect for Napoleon. He was a genius general. But, you know, he kept beating them, and they were so incompetent. I feel bad for the coalition. I have a lot of respect for Napoleon. But they just, man, he kept beating the coalition. You feel kind of bad. They kept losing. But then I kind of feel bad, and kind of, like a little part of me is rooting for Napoleon on Waterloo. Because he was the underdog. He was trying to win 2 different engagements. He was trying to push on one side and just didn't win for him, you know? So I wouldn't say I'm super biased one way or the other. I bounce back and forth with who I would have wanted to win, but I would have stopped him from going to Russia if I could have. Who knows what that would have done? That could have changed the whole course of everything. Maybe, you know, World War I would never have happened if the Napoleonic Wars, you know, hadn't happened. Now, it looks like France is going to form himself into a more defensive box here, as they're going to be charged from multiple sides here as Russia descends upon them. They do have an artillery piece still, but they're going to get surrounded here. I'm going to start fast forwarding here. Just a little bit here, although you can see Tormasov still is getting just chewed up. They can't shoot some of these French. Yeah, look at that. He broke. 106 men just broke. Just like that. So France still has quite a bit of dangerous biting left in them. Yeah. I just appreciate how beautiful this is. Actually, I'm wondering, does the reflection show them shooting? Oh. Oh, let's get a closer look here and see if it does. Oh, it makes him go away. That's not cool. I think the French are finally on the last breath here, because they do seem to be outnumbered here by the Russians. Now, at this point, I'm sure they would be actually rather tired and be like, I'm done fighting. I just want to go home. I just want to go back to Paris, eat a baguette, and forget. And I like how it's joined right back where it used to be, guys. This is where that fighting happened first, and now France is falling back here. I said, I'm just going to fast forward. I think, you know, the battle's basically won by the Russians. LSC is obviously taken by the Russians as well. Ooh, we have a rear guard action here. Tormasov's men are wavering. Oh, we have some cuirassiers. We're gonna charge in, I hope. Oh, they form a square. Oh, they both form squares. He's still gonna charge it, because you still get damage on the square by charging with heavy cav. And, you know, that's still something. That's right, slice him up. Ooh. Oh my goodness, look at the blockage. Man, France is being very stubborn here. They are not giving up. Russia may actually have to consider just going for an LOC victory and letting the French attack them, because you can see they have paid for every charge. They do have line infantry, I think, that are sneaking up maybe to try to give a nice little bayonet or volley. Maybe. But these units right here, these two right here, guys, this Swiss line is just pouring in the hurt, and you can see they have broken more. Okay, here we go, though. Duktorov is pushing up. Oh, we do have France pushing up with all of their tiny line infantry that are left after taking some heavy losses. Maybe they'll break some of Tormasov's infantry. We'll keep fast-forwarding here. Oh, they broke them. Oh, no. All right, let's see what France is going to do here. We do have still some cavalry. Where's that Cuirassier unit? Is it still around? Oh, we have artillery that broke as well. Man. And you guys see that even with the French having a player drop, how close of a battle this actually truly is. It is a truly fast battle. Like, it is not, we're not a fast battle. It's very close. Ooh, we have a cap charge. And they're going to force them into a square. Charge units that can't form square because they're too depleted. Beautifully done. They're probably going to break, but they are going to mass rout oh so many French troops. And now this is it, guys. This is what it's all for. Duktorov is going to bayonet charge here, using the road to quickly get into the French's face with a bayonet, giving them the cold steel. And now he can actually probably charge here. Oh, these Swiss are going to be tough to fight, though. And now a bayonet charge here. Here we go. Yes, they're going for the bayonet. The French morale is very, very, very low. Beautifully done. Using the cavalry. Now we do have a, spaghetti-o, because we got some cuirassiers. And no squares whatsoever. Can they shoot before they get... Nope. That's gonna hurt. That is gonna hurt quite a bit. And the French have a whole army over here, so like I said, guys, not gonna work too well. The Russians are dying faster than they're taking them out right now. They probably could have used an extra Russian corps, like infantry corps. I think they will break this Cuirassier unit, though. Nope. Here we go, though. They're going against... Let's see if the Swiss can hold. Oh, the Swiss are in a countercharge. Now, they probably have a debuff because friends routing is probably a thing. Yep, and they're going to start breaking. The Polish now going to start trying to drop as many of the French as possible, or the Russians as possible. Oh, wow, they dropped quite a bit of the Russians. Guess who's back? We have even more and more we have the Cuirassiers coming in again. They're probably exhausted, though, at this point. And they probably are going to die so fast. I have to fast forward at this point. It's so very close, but it's taken too long. I'm not an impatient person by nature, but, you know, this is taking a while. And I'm kind of concerned that Russia, they're dropping, their troops are dropping really, really fast. Oh, they routed the general, which is going to rout those troops, and all it is left is a French contingent that's going to go for this LOC. What troop is in here? A skirmisher, you see. And they may take this LOC, however, that is just one of the 2-pointers, and there's another troop, I guarantee that's going to go for this other 2-pointer.
Has fallen to the enemy.
And they have some time. They have 8 minutes left. They're going to go for this one, because then it comes down to the 2 1-pointers that they're going for, and it's going to turn into an LOC. fight and hopefully for the Russians a victory. Like I said, I feel like they were the underdog. Yep, they took it. So LOC victory for the Russians. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call. Unless something changes, I will start recording again. I'm just gonna stop here at this point because no one's fighting anyone. It's just LOCs. So I'll catch you guys in a second. All right, guys. So the end. A LOC victory for the Russians, and actually one of the 1-pointers they went to was contested, but they able to take another LOC, so they had 4 points versus a 3 for the French. Here it's obviously one of the armies. I do believe this is Bagavoo. And you can see kills wise 200 on the line of street. Wasted a lot of that one French army's time. But let me pull up the results here. As you can see, we have a sorry dog as Platov. He got 452 kills, 560 losses. The Nate Devour as Bagavoo, I believe, with 1292 for the kills. Bring back Militia, 925. And Gord with 2216. So got a lot of kills there. On the other side, Goonmaster as the 8-pointer with 1154. Moros with 1483. FIU dropped, so didn't really get kills. And Wander with 765 as a 9-point for Landers. So that's the kills. Like I said, sorry if I, in the very beginning, said there was a lot of kills. I was looking, obviously, at the losses. And I thought those were the kills. And I was like, wow, that's a lot of kills on both sides. And obviously, didn't even think about it for a second. Obviously, still, in my opinion, a very close game. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I definitely did. And that'll be it for me today. You guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe. And as always, I will catch you all in another video.